Exactly, and when your bike doesn't turn, what you do, you try and...
Ionone's gone down, and that's the Aprilia out. That's the bottom of the hill at gravel there. You really...
It has to be, because there's not actually enough runoff, to be totally honest. There's not like extra deep gravel in there.
Kato-san giving us the pictures. Getting cameras on anybody now. Must be rising surely above the 130 mark that we've seen.
Me and Colin have had a discussion about it, and we're convinced
his heart rate will have just gone up a little bit more, maybe, just getting dirt in his face. I'm talking about from Dobby's rear wheel into the face of put his heart rate on without him signing his life away. So
the world has gone mad.
Yeah. Well, he's fine with it.
But no, it's obviously
that says the laws nowadays around Europe are incredibly late.
But again, look how the bike just doesn't turn.
And the Yamaha turns straight underneath him, but he'll squirt that. He's going to be the wrong side of things, I think, coming down to here, because Maverick's looking at the inside again. Doesn't do it well.
That is all back to that. It doesn't turn, so he has to try and make his lap time in the braking zone.
The only thing they can really change to make that turn, to make that work, is they've got to change the engine. It's got to be a different engine. It's got to be, hasn't changed. It's been the motor. It's its own characteristics, and that makes a change.
They've tried everything.
And here's Morbidelli. Jack Miller then also suffering from Ducatiitis, and Morbidelli Miller Dovizioso now. So the two Sepang International Circuit bikes are second and third. Every year it's going to be so much worse this year when they've got their bikes. John McPhee, of course, a winner for the Sepang International. It's available for Sepang, so don't bother.
Watch it on BT Sport.
That's the way. Grand Prix of the year goes Dobby. Dobby up the inside of Jack Miller. Tell you what, he has got some braking performance to get under Jack Miller. That easy.
You can't believe how late he can brake. Dobby's just got a real unique technique that when he gets into the braking zone, as the back wheel tries to pivot round the front.
Tyres. At the end of the day, those mediums that Marc Marquez has put on, a little bit different, but Marquez has gone with the competitive edge. It's rare we see him running mediums.
Sorts of laps.
Well, we saw him in warm-up this morning. Marquez did a whole raft of 46 middle, actually the entire race. And according to our data from this morning in warm-up, he should be able to do the... But he keeps... The pressure is still there. Quartararo is still applying it full time. There it is. Plus 3.7. Back to Fabio. And Quartararo.
And like I say, Keith, that last sector he gained so much time. It's that downhill braking, which will turning ability of the Yamaha. The problem is when you get to a downhill braking zone like that, where all that weight's on the front.
Quartararo, everyone else, all the other Yamahas have tried stiffer springs, but of course that means it doesn't turn quite as positively. Talk to you about the way that Cal's trying to handle it. I mean, you see it all the time. It's not like chatter. It is like the motorbike. But the Suzuki in the final three corners, we watched it yesterday. The Suzuki turns like it's on rails. The Honda right behind it is 1.5 yards, 2 yards offline type thing within the chassis, within the setup, within the engine.
Yeah, when what you could see also, the fight is starting to mark up.
Wonder what this one's doing. I haven't had a good look at Marc Marquez's either. It starts to grain up a little bit.
It's not too bad.
I think maybe it was just because he powered it out of the corner, because it's got this in the bag barring a mistake. He's just taking a tenth or two every lap. I mean, 46 is very impressive. Start line time then. 24 laps in Prost this week either. They weren't too shabby there. But again, liberty taker. Straight under.
And that enabled Miller just to weasel up the inside.
Good phrase.
And if anyone's a weasel,
there's Miller hugging that white line, and Cal Crutzo's in the mix as well. Maverick Vinales too. And 14 victory corner.
Lord, what a great shot of these MotoGP bikes spinning it up on the eggs.
Particularly the other night trying to bolt the right motor in.
I've got to do a shout out for Sylvain Guintoli, who was second in one of the free practice sessions, and I thought, fair play. I think he's 37 years old, is Sylvain Guintoli, on a Suzuki. If you finish in a... Yeah, look at the gap now. Yeah, you're right. It's the elastic band has snapped, hasn't it? It's stretching.
I mean, Quartararo at this point, and that's the thing about Quartararo. He may only be 20, but he's intelligent 20, and he'll be thinking to himself, "I'll do here."
And he's a clever lad, like you say. And I'm not saying what Keith's saying there is he's not going to give up. And it's all about turning at Phillip Island.
And you can bet it. Twin ring motegi. My mouth's getting tired. That's a change. Twin ring motegi.
It's about time.
It'll be humid. Mind you, it was 80 degrees humidity here this morning. Now then, Maverick Vinales, Morbidelli Franco Morbidelli doing a good job here, but Franco Morbidelli in third place, a podium. You know that the two pace this weekend, but he's going to have to work hard to beat the Vizioso, who uses that Ducati where it's great. Onyx Marc Marquez still leads from Fabio Quartararo, from Fabio Morbidelli, Franco Morbidelli. Over the line, we've got 10 laps to go. Long way back to Morbidelli, and
yeah, it just makes a big V of it, doesn't it? Because he can't carry that corner speed in the middle, so he tries to, like I said earlier, gain a bit of straight.
Still Cal Crutchlow in 8th place now. Rins has gone in front of Cal Crutchlow. Crutchlow slipped to Agro on the KTM, has gone behind him. Then it's Pecco Bagnaia in 13th, Miguel Oliveira 14th. Alicia Kallio has now slipped outside of the top 15. Taka Nakagami bravely continues. He for a month, he'll be immobilised. That arm will be immobilised for a month.
Keith, I've had the operation twice. Move it. As you can imagine, after a month, when you go and see, you go back into hospital, they take the bandages off and the strapping. You can imagine what you say. Can you imagine what Nakagami's going through right now? So I've watched him drop down, like you say.
These braking areas, it's just going to wreck his shoulder. But anyway, he's going off to the hospital to have that operation done after this one. Zarco, we look forward to the Frenchman back on a MotoGP bike. Marc Marquez is, Maverick Vinales is a bit too keen. So Maverick passes him on the cutback. Well, that tucked into it. That's real maturity to not follow the man in front of you.
Well, there's one thing we've learnt about Maverick Vinales, better than everybody's, and that's including Marc Marquez.
Once the fuel load goes down, he seems to get to it. Well, we picked it in the braking area. What he was absolutely pin shaft correct, because Morbidelli couldn't get it stopped. His tyre maybe, because he's looking now. Oh, you haven't said that. Maverick's on the soft rear as well, isn't he? Front soft rear for Maverick Vinales. This guy's got mediums, front and rear. In half a second now, the gap per lap from Marquez to Quartararo.
So to look at his bike compared to Cal's, this is the images we saw of Cal's bouncing and hopping across the track.
I don't think we can see this properly in slow-mo though. I think I'd rather see it more like real time, but
whatever Marquez does, whatever he's, with
but
setting
how
or
does he do it?
Well,
I mean, Cal's got
whole paddock. That's the number one question people have been asking for 7 years.
Cal has looked at the data. Cal sees what he does. Close to aggressive on a motorbike, like Marc Marquez. He's quite similar in the way that he rides a bike, or as similar as you can. Smooth, almost 250cc style of racing, which is the bit that worries me about Johann Zarco coming to rival of Jorge Lorenzo, and in my opinion, Johann Zarco.
Yeah. You feel like Zarco in Phillip Island, like a confidence zapping front ender, and there's not a worse track to go to. You've got to Phillip Island on and give you the feedback, so you've got basically an understanding of what the motorcycle's doing.
Neil, if he'd had a week's testing beforehand...
Prediction, where do you think he'll finish in FP1?
I've got to say... Last time around, we've got 6 and a bit laps left to go. 2.6 now, Marquez back to Quartararo. Vinales wants to put another Yamaha up on the podium. Got to say,
the only problem for Vinales is that last section, the last sector down. So you've got the
another Yamaha and Assen when
yeah, that was who was that?
Valentino.
Oh yeah,
it was Lorenzo.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, it was.
I've slept since then. I'm recovered from that one, but that's another story.
Overtaking hotspot. It sure is, coming down into 11.
Down, but like you say, it's enough.
He needs to make the pass early in the lap and just make that. Way out front, Marquez. 2.6 it was last Ferraro. 46.7 for the man who's controlling this race, Marc Marquez. Maybe a little Maverick again. Now then, hop, skip, jump. Even Dobby's get the exit speed if he can. Down through the seamless gear, but he's got to make the pass. So Dobby then, just enough of a gap at the moment, but mid-corner is where the Yamaha is. And just get that gap on Dobby. If Dovizioso is there on the last lap down into turn 11, you can be sure he's to go. Marquez, Quartararo, they're away at the front. This is the battle for third place. All lifted, squirts past the other pit lane that is here at Motegi. Over the hill, and then it all drops. Trying to get it all stopped and turned in, still dropping away. Now we start to rise uphill under the IndyCar circuit. Through 13, onto 14 now. Victory corner, and then the blast to the line. If Maverick's in there, because the braking point is right on the line, and quite often these riders miss out on turn 1.
Tell you what, these two are circulating faster than the leaders. They're about
proper fight.
Exactly, they're 0.6 to Fabio. I don't think they're going to catch him, by the way, but it's 4.5 laps to go now.
I've been walking down to 7th place. Joan Mir has got in front of Miller now. Miller has sunk to 9. Whoa! In a minute, Maverick's going to send one straight up the inside. It's coming, it's building. Is it here? No.
Is he going to wait to the last lap to keep that information for himself? Because
well, we've seen what Dobby's like react. He just blasts away. And the Yamaha hasn't really got any answer into this braking. That is not really a braking opportunity for the a passing opportunity for the Yamaha.
Round turn 12, 13.
Cool, that would be something. Well, Dobby came out on top. There is Marquez, there is Quartararo, and that battle for 3rd place you can see behind them is a 46.3 Dobby did last time around. They are closing them down at the front. Not sure there's enough time. 20 of 24. Yeah, that's all very interesting, but I'd rather see how it plays. Wow, that's a disastrous weekend for Valentino. Here's Maverick Vinales, his team. So much easier to manage. Now then, Maverick Vinales. He's not going to do it round the outside.
But then Dobby, it's stable on the brakes, and then he presses the turbo button when he gets on the straights.
Pretty much like out the Suzuki Motor Company president, Toshihiro Suzuki, appropriately. Slow in front of Rins. Scott work. Cal Crutchlow, chuck him a bone and he'll chew through a mood. Now, looking back to that 3rd place, here's Quartararo, 2nd place. Ball with the 2nd place, that gap between Marquez and Quartararo, but it's down to what? 2.2 seconds. Those gearboxes. Don't you just love them?
He'll be pleased with this, though, Fabio.
Oh, and that's Suzuki. Cal Crutchlow's got an animal under him. Rins has got a little beauty. Tightish. It's one of them ones where you've got to let Cal know you're there.
Take a bit of this. That's my shoulder on your fairing.
Mir is the man on 36. So Danilo Petrucci now 9th. Miller drops to 10th. Back with Quartararo. Wow. Dobby surely can't close this down. Surely not. 0.3 still, it stays stable. 1.4 now. Back to Dovizioso. He's taken 6/10 out of that. But Dovizioso, Dobby's doing it again.
Can you believe it?
He's sneaking his way up. He did it, what, in Misano, was it? Dovizioso's determination. This man is the quiet man of determination.
Incredible. Yeah, it was back in Aragon, wasn't he? Was Kendon worked his way.
That was it,
yeah.
Aragon.
And he's just set his fastest lap for the race.
Wow, that is impressive. Incredible. Oh, that's been a nice little point out from Colin Edwards here on the screen. He's got a meat. It really is. Marc Marquez goes through. So does. Letting 2nd place down. There's the gap.
He has to keep it clean as Quartararo.
When you see your board, one moment tensing yourself up because you know you're being chased. This is going to be down to proper race for the line. We've seen it before here in Motegi, and Dobby's been involved in it before here at Motegi. Onto the back straight we go. Over the line then, last lap time.
Faster.
Last lap. Surely not. It's a 0.8 of a second gap now. If he can take that much out of it, I just can't.
What's interesting is Mark's really backed off at the front as well, and they've really closed in on him as well. Look.
His first pole ever here at Motegi, Marc Marquez, but he's going to surely take the win. This is finally filling out his current racetracks that we're on, finally ticking the Butol Grand Prix of Japan. Is going to go to the wire, but I think it's going to finish as is. Dovizioso closing it down every single corner now, every break.